to be involved. I can say I'm looking forward even more to coming back here in just a few months. Just a few months. It's unbelievable. Matt mentioned 30 months as being not an extraordinarily long time for a development process. I have to say, with this particular team, we sometimes find ourselves at Mass Housing saying, wait a minute, put the brakes on. You're closing, you're going too fast. We got to get the loan closed. But again, I'm delighted to be here today. We'll be delighted to be here within a few months and celebrating the ribbon cutting and hopefully meeting some of the residents who will be fortunate enough to call these apartments their homes and will be fortunate enough to rest in the ease that their homes will be affordable for decades to come and that they'll receive the supportive services that they need to live comfortably here. So with that, thank you again. Congratulations, Cardinal, Lisa, Matt, and all from the town. And I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.
Nancy, on behalf of the entire team, please accept this small token. Next, we'd like to welcome Tom Burke from the Hanover Housing Authority.
There are a lot of thank yous to go around today, and I want to try to make sure I recognize everyone. First of all, I think I have to thank my colleagues in the town of Hanover, and in particular, both past and present, my colleagues on the Housing Authority and the Affordable Housing Trust. I do want to single out my now longtime colleague, Stephen Carroll, who I always say is the brain trust behind the affordable housing efforts in the town of Hanover. So please give him a hand. And as previous remarks have been made, this was really quite an incredible private-public partnership. You hear that thrown around a lot, but this really was truly that, and that's one of the reasons why we're able to move so quickly and efficiently through the process. So, Dana, working with Dana and his team, and Ed early on in the process, Lisa, Bill, really just everyone along the way, our town boards. But one thing I think is important for the people in the room to know and understand, one is that it's coming from an obvious commitment from our community to taking care of our elders, to really making sure we have a beautiful new senior center in town. We've had the ability to to purchase land. We take care of our youth and our elders. But it's important to know the origins of this story, and one group, and there are a couple of groups that I want to recognize. This never would have happened if it weren't for something called the Community Preservation Act. And we were lucky enough in our town to have adopted it early on and have a strong community preservation committee. And Dr. Wallace Kemp, who's here, was one of the early members and really helped to make good on that promise of the allocations toward affordable housing. We as a housing authority just sort of stepped into it and had availability of funds and had the availability to start thinking about the best places to direct those very limited funds at times when there were some fiscal realities we all were dealing with toward that end. And we're able to work with the state and work with DHCD and find ways to get a structure that would allow us to do these things in a sensible way. We formed an affordable housing trust, which ultimately was our financial contribution to the project. So I think it's really important to remember that through the hard work of CPC and our assistant town planner, who was also our CPC, Margaret Hoffman, who worked tirelessly throughout this process and still does, that this is quite an undertaking, and everybody should be proud of it. I'd like to bring somebody up to share the podium with me for a second. Currently on our Board of Selectmen, was our first chairman of our Affordable Housing Trust, Mr. Dan Pilata, because I think Dan really makes a lot of sense when it comes to our strong commitment and where we've come from as far as affordable housing.
Thanks. I'm a little nervous being next to the Cardinal, so don't be. I'm a Catholic U graduate, Cardinal. I'm very nervous. Also, in all sincerity, the partnership we have here is exactly what everyone has said, but the partnership that the town of Hanover has to housing extends decades. The largest landowner in the town of Hanover is the Archdiocese. And the first housing that we had passed is at the Cardinal Cushing Center, which is a senior housing project right now. And that housing project is, just like this housing project, a generation ago felt the need for seniors for housing, and it has provided affordable housing for hundreds and hundreds of people that would have nowhere to go and allowed them to stay in our community. And this extends that one step further. And we're excited in the town of Hanover to have continued this partnership, and we're excited to continue the partnership that we have with the Archdiocese also on the other project too. And we look forward to that going long and strong. But I wanted to thank everybody, and I really think that Tom didn't do Steve Carroll any justice. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Steve Carroll's drive, beating on all of us to get this passed and this piece of paper signed and that piece of paper signed. And this is Steve Carroll's building. We wouldn't be here if he didn't start it. The Housing Authority had laid dormant since the partnership we had with the Archdiocese 30 years ago to build the original housing. And I want to personally thank Steve, and I want to thank the rest of the residents of the town that worked tirelessly to get this here. Hanover is committed to our residents, and this is just another example. I'm not as nervous anymore, Carter. And he is not as good a singer as you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
So you studied at CU?
I'm a graduate of CU.
I used to teach there, but I didn't have you in class.
I would have flunked if I had you in class. So I was an architecture student.
Oh,
So
that's a
I
great
loved
building.
it. I
Yeah,
loved it,
yeah.
yeah. It was a great school.
Okay,
So,
wonderful.
thank you very much.
Thank both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
State Representative Rhonda Nyman was not able to be here today, but she was clearly very influential in assisting this project. I'm not certain, is Lauren here? Lauren, please come to the podium. Lauren will make some remarks from the representative.
Good afternoon. I am here on behalf of State Representative Rhonda Nyman, as she cannot be here today due to a committee hearing at the State House. I know that Representative Nyman is excited and pleased that this project here at Barstow Village is moving forward. She wants to let you know if she can be of any assistance from this point on. Please do not hesitate to contact her. Thank you for having me here today, and congratulations on the groundbreaking.
Thank you so much. It is really difficult to thank everybody for all they've done to get us here today. What I'd like to do now that we've heard from our speakers is to take a moment to just thank and acknowledge some special supporters. It is always hard because you miss people when you do this, and in part because of that, we have prepared what we call our thank you boards, where we've listed everyone who has really been instrumental in helping us get here over the years. But I would like to ask a few people to step forward to receive a small gift for your organization, your agency, as a token of our appreciation. First, I'd like to ask, or just say a few words about the Department of Housing and Community Development, DHCD, for their great support and for all of the resources that they've committed to us in getting Barstow Village built. DHCD is providing $1.3 million in a variety of funds, and also made an allocation of tax credits that enabled us to raise more than $7 million in equity for this development. Clearly, this wouldn't have happened without DHCD and their staff, and I think Carrie is here today. Is Carrie here? Carrie, please come forward, accept a gift. Thank you, Carrie.
We'd also like to acknowledge our equity investor in the project, the Richmond Group of Funds. As Lisa mentioned, over $7 million in equity, a very significant portion of the overall capital structure for Barstow Village. I'd like to welcome Peter McHugh. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just keep a pile of them there for you. Thank you, Peter. You know, there can never be enough said about the town and the Housing Authority and all of the work that you've put together. The town leadership and the staff were really critical to making this happen smoothly and expeditiously. And we'd already heard from the Selectman Pilato, thank you very much. I'd also like to, though, see if we could call up Margaret Hoffman, who was from the Community Preservation Committee, and they really had so much to do with this. It is truly because of the CPA, Community Preservation Act, and the Community Preservation Committee that we're here today. So I'd like to ask Margaret to come up, and I think I'm going to step a little bit out of order and also ask Steve to come forward and accept a gift because he has had so much to do with this.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you so much. And now to our development team, we wanted to just say thank you to a few more folks. The architectural team, Nancy Anderson mentioned that it's wonderful to be able to fund a development like this, have it happen quickly, expeditiously, and also have it look beautiful. A couple of the residents from across the way were commenting on how beautiful it will be and how wonderful it will be to have some new neighbors shortly. So I'd like to ask Steve Riegel from the architectural team to come forward and accept a gift for TAT.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary Kane, as well, also from the architectural team. Thank you for your work. I'd like to thank now Nixon Peabody, our terrific legal team, and I'd like to ask Paul Bouton if he would come forward and accept a gift, and also want to thank the Chris and Ruth Silman.
Thank you very much.
Another important part of our legal team was our local counsel, Kethro Thomas. And is Don Kethro here today? Don't know if he was able to make it. No, okay. No, okay. And another part of our architectural engineering team, critical part was Horsley Witten, and I don't know, is Joe Longo here today to be able to come and accept a gift of a token of our appreciation. Thank you. Finally, two really critical team members, and both Matt and I have referred to them earlier in the program. They make up some of the other wonderful, terrific companies that Ed Fish started and that formed his legacy for over the many, many years and decades. And we've had the great pleasure and honor of working with both of these companies. I'd like to first ask Mike Fish of Delbert Construction to come forward and accept a gift. And Mike is the one who promised that February building completion, so we'll all remember that. I'm sure the crews are loving to hear that. Okay, his cell phone. That's for the building, I've been told. The landscaping will be in April. I mean, it will be completely finished closer to April, I think, so. And then lastly, I'd like to ask Melissa Frisch-Crane from Peabody Properties to come forward. Peabody has done a terrific job with us on many developments, and we thank you so much. I know, as I said, there are so many people to thank. We won't get to all of them. We do have other gifts that we have here to hand out to many of you when we're done. I do want to acknowledge and thank Bill Grogan of our staff and Dana Angelo. Dana's already disappeared back again in the back of the tent area here. But they've been terrific. They really did, again, help us get where we are today. Finally, I'd like to say a special thanks to St. Mary's Parish and Father Chris Hickey, and ask Father Chris to come and accept a gift as a token of our appreciation for all of your help. I don't know. Cardinal Sean said we won't make you sing for it, but we just might. As we conclude our program here, I'd like to ask Bishop Dewar to come and lead us in a closing prayer. And following that, I would ask Ellen to lead us in our final song. Again, the words are in your program. Then what we're going to do is where is this?
Over here.
Dirt pile. Can we do this?
Over here.
Okay, it's over here. and maybe there's a little bit of a break in the rain. So we're going to go for it. We're going to get the speakers, and I'm going to ask the speakers, Father Chris Bishop, to join us over at the dirt pile, and the shovel crew. You know who you are. If you're on the shovel crew, you know who you are. Please join us over at the dirt pile, and when we're done with that, breaking ground, then everyone is welcome to join us back here for refreshments. So, Bishop.
When I first saw the rain, I could only think of 1982 in October when John Paul II came to Boston, and we all got drenched. But he said, America, beautiful even in the rain. And so that was the first thought. No matter what the weather is, this is a beautiful event and a sign of all of this dedication. So we ask God to bless all those who had any part of bringing it to this point, all of the wisdom, the courage, the sense of negotiation and discussion, those who brought also to gifts and talents from all parts, as we have heard, Lord, so many people have made it possible. And we ask you to continue to bless this work, to bring this work to full completion, and for the sake of all those who are in need of housing, for the blessing of this town, and the blessing of all of those who will share here over many, many years. This is a sign that your work is accomplished through our hands, through our talent, through your guidance. And we ask you to bless this work and to bless all here. And we ask this in the name of your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, forever and ever. Amen. Okay.
Over to the dirt pile, please. Everyone's welcome to join us.
Phil Flash, you know. They have more. Exactly. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
That's it. And then Bill. The Cardinal stands in the middle.
Lisa, this is like the middle area right here. The middle? Yeah. Okay. So we get the equipment behind over your shoulder. I'd have to get one of those. Would you give that to Sunshine, you're more like
Trade shovels with
Hey, come on over.
you. Lisa's in charge. So.
Here, Father, take my shovel. Take my shovel, I'm not running again.
I shovel, but I don't shovel this. Down here. Really need to see you on a Sunday.
Is that, are we good?